Right, good afternoon. Welcome. All right, good afternoon. Welcome to your favorite social media program, The Buzz. I am Rose Blossom. It's good to be here because we're talking about the state and affairs of the country. I want you to know that we have a YouTube channel at Galaxy TV, and of course, we have Galaxy TV News, Galaxy TV Comedy, we have Galaxy TV Entertainment, and of course, Galaxy TV. So you can actually like, subscribe, and share, and you can join us on our terrestrial channel at on 127, and you can actually watch some of our live programs from our Google app, out from our app rather, where you can get them on Google Play Store and Apple Play Store. You understand, to be part of the program, just in case you don't have a TV screen beside you. Okay, today I have a lot of trending videos, and unfortunately we could not get our guest, far distance. He's coming all the way from Ogbomosho rather. He's supposed to be with us, but I don't know what's going on. But hopefully he'll join us before the end of the program. But I have a Zoom guest who's going to join us. Is now like a usual on a Monday to always have a Zoom guest, and I think I'm getting very comfortable with that. His name is Comrade Ola Abola. He's the state coordinator for CAOCL in Ogun State, and is also a social commentator. Okay. Good morning, Comrade. Can we have Comrade on the screen?
Good morning.
Thank you so much for joining, Comrade.
My pleasure.
All right. I guess it's just me and Comrade for now. Hopefully, until the other guest joins us. Okay, we're going to first start with what's trending for like 2 days. 2 days now, yesterday, day before yesterday, where the federal government has said is going to renovate the vice president's house with 5 billion naira. And of course, there has been a lot of reactions, because if we're talking about the times that we are now, and we have to be spending 5 billion naira on renovating the vice president's house, Shetima. Oh, anyways, the story is that despite the widespread economic hardship and soaring inflation across the country, the federal government has allocated 5 billion naira towards the renovation of the vice president's official residence in Lagos State. In the 2.17 trillion naira supplementary budget passed in November 2023, the federal government had budgeted 3 billion naira for the renovation of the vice president's official residence in Lagos State, and another 2.5 billion naira for the renovation of official residence located within the Aso Rock Villa in Abuja. However, checks by correspondent using the government spend, a civic tech platform that tracks and analyzes the federal government spending, showed that a total of 5 trillion 34 million 777,063 was spent in May and September this year for the renovation of the vice president's Lagos residence. Similarly, on September 5th, 2024, the Office of the Chief of Staff to the President paid the sum of 726,748,686 for additional renovation work on the Vice President's home in Lagos. On the same day, the Chief of Staff Office paid 1 billion rather 480,209,326 naira to the same firm for phase 2 renovation of the vice president's Lagos residence. This is such a huge amount to renovate a place where it's not going to be your permanent place, where it's somewhere you just have to stay until your term is over, and of course another person comes in, and it's like the same thing. When another person comes, they always want to renovate, they always want to make a change, and that is sucking out so much from Nigeria, but especially when we have our budget. But anyways, Comrade, what is your take on this huge amount of money that has been commuted to making sure that the vice president's house in Aso Rock Villa and in Lagos, his residence, is being renovated? What's your take?
Yeah, thank you so very much. Spending over 5 billion naira, you know, to renovate the residence of the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, I just have to look at it as if, is that an eternal place of rest in the first instance? We are talking of innovation. So are you not telling me that the last Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria under General Muhammadu Buhari retired, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, has been living in that house, and the residence is like inhabitable for him, or it's not conducive for him to live. I think this is executive recklessness of the highest order, wasteful or wastage, of taxpayers' money, as the case may be. And this is a government that is calling on Nigerians, to tighten their bootstraps in a situation whereby average Nigerians, are reducing their consumptions, and increasing their activities. But the government at the center is not showing a sense of direction, because we are telling us now that what we have is Nigeria have a lot of resources, a lot of money to spend on luxury. This is just luxury. By 2027, if this vice president is leaving, or another president or vice president comes, the same, vicious circle, it has become a vicious circle, which is economic wastage. So as we examine the economic implication of these expenditures, it is essential, to consider the broader context of the Nigerian economic challenges and the potential opportunities lost. Now, these are a lot of things that is not done. When did you hear, in the US, like now, Donald Trump will be coming in. Just let us take, a clue from that. You will not, it's not going to be a normal norm as it is done in our own climate here in Nigeria, that your building's apartment will be renovated with certain humongous, amount of money. These people, government will say it's a continuum. A president, a sitting president, will not be living in a shanty, will not be living in an unconducive environment. The environment is already conducive. I don't know if other things have been put into it, because the house of the president or the vice president is a very, very luxury apartment that ordinarily does not need, an intermittent or a continuous or continual, we all have to be continually renovating it after every 4 years. Because you are not telling me that removing those furnitures, are those furnitures, are they bad to that extent that another vice president are not using? Are you telling me that even though if you are painting the building annually, there's nothing bad in it? So the economic context is this. It will bring about poverty, because presently over 100 million Nigerians live below the poverty line. You get it now. So less than $2 a day. An average Nigerian lives, below poverty line, less than $2 a day. And the inflation rate that increased. Our inflation rate presently has increased over 40%, that digit, So if you think about unemployment, and the rate of unemployment is also so high, So infrastructure deficit is there, inadequate healthcare, education, and transportation system are there. So what are the opportunity costs of this policy, of this money that has been earmarked, to repair 5 billion naira? 5 billion naira is so high that ordinarily it would have been an amount that would have been, earmarked for infrastructural development. So the 5 billion naira allocated for the renovation could have been utilized elsewhere. One, we can use out of that 5 billion naira, we can build 50 primary healthcare centers, at approximately 100 million naira each. Are you with me now? So we can also construct, 100 classrooms at approximately 5 million naira each. We can repair, construct 100 kilometers of roads at approximately 50 million naira, per kilometer. So let me just stop there for now, so that you can just have your time to ask further questions. But we'll still come back to that, 5 billion naira. We need to iron it out, so that if that money, has already been earmarked, we think our government will be questioned, and they have, to answer, and they have to respond that at this present day of our economic quagmire, such a money should have been, allocated for such frivolity. It is frivolity, so to say. Thank you.
Okay, all right. So that means that from what you've said now, it's a very good way people can actually tend to, do the right thing with the amount of money. And I like the angle you were coming from when you said they can do that with primary health care, classrooms. There are a lot of things they can actually invest that money in. Especially, that brings me to the question of, is there no regulatory body that actually, I don't know, that can regulate how much they can spend? Because from all indications, this is the phase 2, and from the write-up, it's as though that there might be a phase 3, like it's a stages thing. They've done the phase 1, this is the phase 2, there will be a phase 3, and if we're not careful, by the time we hear the amount that has been poured into making sure that they reconstruct or renovate the vice president's house, it now becomes something that is very alarming, and a lot of Nigerians would never understand. But what are the first things that you actually believe that the government, the leaders, need to start doing in the aspect of minimizing or cutting down the amounts they use in renovation? Because not just that, we could hear there was a time just I think last 2 weeks where they said they are stipulating an amount of money where they will use to reconstruct a high court. I think it should be Ondo State, if I remember correctly. And people were complaining, saying, okay, there are a lot of salaries that, need to be paid. The minimum wage has not been implemented, and a lot of things are happening. And yes, even though the High Court needs a good building, a good infrastructure and all of that, but still the people are hungry. So if you want to give bring justice and peace to the country or to the state, you have to at least listen to the people before you start talking about buildings, because obviously that will not work. But anyways, what do you think should be done about this?
You mentioned, first and foremost, about is there any regulatory agency and everything. It is the job of the National Assembly, to appropriate, such projects. But presently, do you think the present National Assembly is a National Assembly that is, that is up and doing, that we can vouch for as Nigerians? We all know the Akpabio, with all due respect, Senator Godwin, Senator Godwin Akpabio's leadership in the National Assembly is just a rubber stamp. It's all about you pat my back, I pat your back. Anything that is brought by the executive to the National Assembly, I tell you, without them scrutinizing it, without them, doing the needful, without, going to the economic, whatever amount that is proposed, without thinking of the economic impact that it have on it will have on an average Nigerian, the Akpabio leadership at the National Assembly is just a rubber stamp. They will approve it. They will approve it. So since they have been doing the bidding, of the presidency, because it is the presidency that brought that leadership in. So there is no dissenting opinion from the National Assembly, and that is the bane of our democracy as I speak. And that is the problem we are having. A National Assembly that cannot, work, accurately, that cannot, do things diligently, follow due process, in its oversight. It's not a National Assembly. So this kind of legislative arm of government, federal legislative arm of government, is just it's just a comic. They are just being comical. They are just being comical, at the detriment, using Nigeria as a kind of comic, nation, as a kind of, nation that we are being theatrical, we are doing theatrics, to put, the future of Nigerians, into, penury, into pain, into poverty, into hunger. So they are enjoying, they are doing things, they are living in luxury, they are enjoying the grandeur of office, They They are enjoying everything. When we are complaining as ordinary Nigerians, as ordinary citizens, they are not lacking in anything. They are not lacking. So it's a system where the rich are getting richer and the poor are not only getting poorer, but criminally poorer. That is the kind of government we are having. They are bourgeois, they are capitalists who know they feel the pain of an ordinary Nigerian. And as I was saying, the economic impact of this 5 billion naira, that has been awarded to the vice president. We are only seeing the vice president's apartment for innovation. Must we continually innovating vice president's offices every 4 years? It is wasted. And at the end of the day, we will be going to World Bank, we will be going to IMF to seek for loan. With all due respect, when former President Olusegun Obasanjo, the president before President Buhari came, Buhari's predecessor, after Jonathan, before President Obasanjo, when that came before Jonathan, President Obasanjo went ahead, to rally around Western countries for debt, relief for Nigerians. And as that man was living, when that man was living the statue of leadership, and I can tell you, Nigeria was owing no kobo to any nation on earth. But today, go and check the statistics. Go and look at our foreign debt. We are not a producing nation. We are just a consuming nation. And all this money they are spending, all this humongous amount of spending, they are just going up.
Okay, network. We're having a bit of a network right there. Okay, we'll still have Comrade joining us, definitely. But we have a trending video just to tell you how much, I do not know. I'm just going to term them as politicians, how much politicians are doing, for, I think, for Nigerians not to be able to stand on their right. And it's more like having poverty as a tool to win in politics and to win campaigns. This trending video is about a lawmaker. Tried getting a closer look to the pictures that were on those envelope was a bit difficult, so we could not know exactly which of the lawmaker had to do this, but I'm certain the police are going to look into that because it's already trending online. And this is a lawmaker from Kano State who was preparing empowerment for his supporters after breaking up with the Kwankwaso group. Let's quickly watch that trendy video, and of course we'll come back to continue the program and get comrades' reactions. Stay with us. To sort that video, that is, I would say, bulk stack of cash. And from the comment section where this video was gotten, you could see a lot of people, especially people from the north, saying that, oh, you're not used to north. When you go to a rich man's house or some of the lawmakers, that is how they store their money. They don't need to hide it or keep it in a basement or anything. But of course that is what is alleged. We're not certain about that. But anyways, comrade, I don't know if comrade saw that video. If you saw that video, what's your take on this? Now this is another angle politically, of course, trying to win over people, and because hunger is in the land, they're stashing I'm certain a very small amount of cash in the envelope just to win people over. And this happens every now and then, not just in Nigeria, but I've noticed in most African countries this type of thing still happens. What's your take on this trending video?
Well, thank you. Welcome back. I didn't so much see that video, but from your presentation about what is in that video, your explanation about it, if I can get it right, that the honorable member from Kano State went to his constituency and started giving people from cash gifts as form of palliative. Am I correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You see, that was why in my presentation earlier I said we are running a system where the rich will be getting richer and the poor are not only getting poorer but are criminally poorer. Because such a situation or such a scenario as you have find in that video is the making of the state. It is the state that has brought about that economic hardship, so that the gullible ones, can, they cannot fend for themselves. They will be reliant on certain individuals. And as you can know, and as you are very, very much aware, that in the northern state of Nigeria, there are a lot of almajiris. And what are the the daily, jobs, or what are the things these Almajiris do. They are reliant on, somebody who will be giving them, leftovers, who will be passing things, kind of in terms of food, in terms of their daily needs, and they are ready to do the bidding of that person. They are ready to see the person as their next God. So that is why the honorable member in question will not, find a lasting solution to the poverty that has ravaged his constituency in the northern part of Nigeria by not only giving palliative but genuine empowerment. Giving genuine empowerment to people in the constituency when everybody has a good job to do, when everybody can fend for themselves. I tell you most sincerely that they will not be able to use them when the time of election comes. But they will not give them what can sustain them throughout their lifetime. They will be giving them peanuts. They will be giving them, things that they needed at the immediate, so that by the time they are needed for the next election, they have already, have starvation would have set in. They are already hungry. So by the time you give them as little as 5,000, 10,000, or a Lodi or a Congo, like it is used in our own southwest part of Nigeria, they will singing you, theologizing you. So it's just a way of making, and at the bit, these people themselves, it is their money. That person in question, the honorable in question, it's not just his own personal money. When he wasn't yet an honorable member of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, how far have he been so philanthropic, or philanthropic is not or humanitarian, in activities to people of his constituency? But by the time he started collecting fat money, humongous amounts of salary and salary allowances and everything, he just to use this stipend, out of what which he has gotten as salaries and allowances from national. So now draw some together and we're giving them money, and these people will be happy for. That is the level of wickedness of that we are experiencing, the level of poverty, and economic wickedness that goes in our country. And the elitists, the virtual, the capitalists will not stop at doing that, because the situation whereby everybody is contented, everybody is doing something meaningful, you will not see people, to vote them. Now, let me just give you this picture of this. Like the present president of Nigeria, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is from Ikoyi, Bodilon. Go and check from the record. Over the past years, when election is being held in Ikoyi and its environs, Tinubu don't win even his own ward. Tinubu don't win, his own, the Bodilon road. People don't vote him. But this is an environment where you have elitist people, you have people who can fend for them, who cannot even get a bag of rice from you. People who have conscience. So when you are poor, your conscience is eroded. You don't have conscience. So poverty will make you not to have conscience. Not that they don't know what to do, but poverty has led them to start, refusing somebody, to start seeing somebody as their next alas. And you understand? So this thing is more pronounced in the north. We in the southwest, we are still much, bookworm. We are still much enlightened that ordinarily, even within your household, if your family member or your kinsman is contesting for an election, no matter the amount that he has, you might decide or you might decide not to even support him or her. You understand? Even though if he brings everything in this world to you, you act according to the dictates of your country, because that is the level of education. So what is the level of education of these people you are saying there? You understand? They are backward. Most of them are backward in education. They are not well enlightened. They don't even know what the future brings. Everything they rely on, they are always reliant on taxing, on the clergy. They are always reliant on the local government chairman. So they, in the north, local government chairman, that's what they do. They distribute, relief palliatives, they distribute food to their members, and that's what everything they do about their allocation. And the people are okay with it. So we cannot hold them, in contempt that they have done something wrong. That has been the scenario. It's a vicious circle within the northern region of Nigeria. Thank you very much.
Ask one question in regards to this video. Now my question is, a lot of times you even see some bandit terrorists, teenagers who self-claim themselves as terrorists and bandits, showing off some stash of cash, of money, throwing it around. There was even a time, a very young boy, probably not even up to the age of 18, was doing a giveaway on TikTok, and of course his face was there. He's using a phone, right? there's an IP address to that phone and of course to that line, but yet nothing was being done. We didn't hear anything if it was captured or whatever. And now this one, because I feel having such an amount of cash at your disposal, it's a bit how will I put it, it raises the eyebrows, right? My question is, why is it that the Nigerian police force are not really doing things about all of this? Yes, I know the spokesperson usually come out and say, okay, we are doing some other things, we're working, but we can't apprehend every criminal, we can't apprehend every offender. Do you understand? But still, why is it that most times, especially people from the north, you see a lot of it. This is not the first time we'll be showing a video of lawmakers from the north who have stashes of cash, and you see how they package it, to dish out to people. Why is the Nigerian police force not doing anything, or investigations are not going on from the EFCC or anything at all to at least make Nigerians understand how this seem appropriate, and even to bring it on social media? It's how will I put it? It's disheartening, to be honest. What's your take, very quickly?
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Thank you on that. You see, we are deceiving ourselves if we say we are operating in Nigeria. We are operating a constitution, that is for all Nigerians. You see, most of the things that have been happening in the northern part of Nigeria that people get away with cannot happen in the southern part of Nigeria, because in the north, so many things is done, out of the signatures of, the security agencies. They just look away. But the constitution, the law, in Nigeria is more effective, here in the southern part, because they feel that most people in the north or the northern region, they are not well educated, they are not well enlightened. And, the law, they say, is no respecter of anybody. But the law is somehow divided. That is why you find out in the southern part of Nigeria, we use criminal code, and the northern part, they use penal code. The penal code is so soft, than the criminal code. So it is more harsh. They apply the rule of the law the way it is written, to an average southerner than many things, is done in the northern part of Nigeria without recourse, to prosecution, to prosecution and trial in court. They will feel it is a normal norm. Today, let me just tell you, before I just digest it, come to any part of Nigeria, you will see an average Hausa man or a northern man, moving around with dagger, tightened to his arm, or his upper arm. You see them having a sword, walking freely in the street. Let a southerner, or somebody from the south here, or somebody, from the southwest, so to say, just, try such, he will be apprehended by the same police. So if somebody is spraying money, without recourse to essence law of abusing our naira, or maybe he has so much cash in his house, terms of money laundering and everything, and the security agency, those that are saddled with the responsibility of prosecuting that person, look away. It does happen in the north. It is not a new thing. But what I'm trying to tell you now is that the south, where down the, where in the south, the implementation of the law is very, very, very pronounced than in the north. You do things in the north. Look at some of these. You are going to all this stop and start that you see in Lagos and in and some of our environment within the southwest. It doesn't happen much like that in the north. They respect their people. You see people with, for that you can't ask them to stop. You can't catch them. But here, that is why an average policeman, if he or she, is posted to the north, within 2-3 weeks, he will work his posting to the south, because this is where the law works. The law don't work over there. We are just Nigeria. We claim to be Nigerian, but the law is more effective here in the southwest than in the northern part of Nigeria. And that is why you see an average northerner do things unexpectedly, do things without because, to the rule of law, do things unchallenged. So that has been the way it is. God has, I thank God. That is the making of our so-called nationalist and our former military head of state. So the law is more superior, here in the southwest than what you have in the north. So anybody that is spending money, extravagantly in the north, showcasing it, in the public and everything, and the FCC is looking away. Maybe they don't want to step on toes because an average is not an. I will tell you, we are just claiming we are one, we are first class. Somebody is more first class than the other. I'm very sorry to say in Nigeria. Thank you.
So sad, like you said, and this is not the first time we'll be hearing stuff like this where you see a Nigerian saying that we have two countries in Nigeria, that's the north and every other angle of Nigeria. So, and I do not want to believe that, even though it seemed like from all indications, but the videos that trends online, some statements, some facts, which of course has pointed out that we still want to believe that Nigeria is Nigeria and there are not two parts in Nigeria. Okay, moving on. Let's talk about the latest one, which the federal government is to provide free cesarean sections for poor, vulnerable women. And this is an amazing one. But I'm just going to read a short, I'm going to read a synopsis on that story so we can have a hang of it. Okay, the federal government has, okay, hold on. Yeah, the Federal Ministry of Health has launched an initiative to provide free cesarean sections for poor and vulnerable women across the country. The initiative, tagged Maternal Mortality Reduction Innovation Initiative, which is MAMI, was launched during the Joint Annual Health Review JAR organized by Ministry in Abuja. The coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Professor Muhammad Ali Pate, described the initiative as an ambitious commitment to reducing maternal and newborn mortalities across Nigeria. According to him, a pivotal feature of the initiative is that it covers services provided through both public and private facilities empaneled by the National Health Insurance Authority, NHIA. The minister said the maternal mortality remains unacceptably high, with 172 local governments contributing to over 50% of maternal death. He believes that by focusing resources on this high burdened area, MAMI will address the greatest areas of need, adding that the NHIA, in collaboration with the National Primary Health Care Development Agency and the State Health Insurance Agency, SHIAs, will manage the reimbursement process, ensuring the providers across both sectors can deliver these essential services sustainably. Professor Ali also said community health workers play a crucial role in this mission, in line with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu initiative to onboard 120,000 additional health workers to support primary care across Nigeria. This is a great move. This is a good move for the initiative, which it is MMIA, which is tagged Maternal Mortality Reduction Innovation Initiative. Well, maternal health, pregnancy, and all of that is one thing that Nigeria has always, people have always looked out for, that we should have something that can grant every poor or vulnerable woman to actually give birth to our own child, and not having a child for 9 months and it's time for delivery, and it's as good as not having a child to go back home with, which is a good initiative. And of course, I hope there'll be transparency to how this is going to come about. But I have my guests to react to that. Despite it being a very good initiative and all of that, what is your take about this new initiative, basically, and of course helping poor and vulnerable women, especially to do free cesarean sections? Because I'm just wondering, if it's just cesarean sections, what happens to the normal pregnancy? But of course, they know what they're doing. But please go ahead. What's your take about this good move, actually?
Yes, thank you. Well, as you said, it's a very good initiative by the present administration, but the implementation is the most. This is not the first time we've been hearing of kind of health policies, as has to do with child and family services and the Cesarean patient case. We have the NHIA, ordinarily stated. Fixing
Oh, network.
quality and quantitative health facility. But presently, go and ask people who have had encounters with the NHIS scheme, you see that it's just only on paper. Only on paper. They are not handling on the templates which was the template in which it was implemented or it was
Comrade, can you hear me, please?
created. So I'm with you.
Comrade, can you hear me? Okay, please, I would like you to use the mic
Okay, I'm
on
with you.
your earpiece, so we could hear you properly. It seems to
Okay,
be,
I'm with you.
having
I'm
an
with you.
off and
I can
on
hear.
while talking. Thank you very much, sir. Please go ahead.
Okay, so can I go on? Can I go on?
Yes, you can. Sure,
So,
please go
like I
ahead.
said, the implementation is the major issue now. And if it is well implemented, I think it will help. And the sustainability of this, policy, is also germane to us. How sustainable, is it? Is it just a short-term policy, that people, mothers, women will enjoy, family will enjoy during this administration? Because when we look at it, every administration comes with one policy or the other. Everybody wants to do a new thing. But if we are not ready to deceive ourselves, there are so many policies that have been, introduced by past administrations that ordinarily today, is no longer working. And a lot of money, a lot of taxpayers' money have been channeled towards these policies, and ordinarily it doesn't see the light of the day. It became moribund. You understand? So many policies, thousands and thousands of policies. So I will want to use this opportunity, as good as this policy is, because to assess, even a private hospital for a cesarean section presently in Nigeria, you're going to have nothing less than 300,000. When somebody have not, have the wherewithal, take the 3 square meters. People hit 101, and people hit, 100 a day. So if it is well implemented and well monitored, and people don't use that opportunity to start abusing it and start collecting feedback and start requesting for money for people, in terms of favoritism, I think it will help very, very well. People will be happy for it. At least it's part of, a good reform, and I think it is introduced by this present administration. But the important thing is sustainability. How sustainable this project? Another government will come tomorrow. We don't get anything good in it. We don't, at this stage of our democracy, I said the other time, our democracy is no longer nothing. Let us leverage on past administration. Whatever has been implemented or has been introduced by past administration, let successive government come in and continue from there. We don't need to be abruptly cutting short, policies and programs of government just because we want to create new ones. Not every program, not every policy of the past administration or the past government is bad. We can continue, we can leverage on it and continue to complete it. But just look around, check your statistics. Many projects, many policies have been abandoned. It's all about garbage in, garbage out. We don't need it now. When government comes, it continues. Another government continues. Let him check the file. Let him check the programs of other government of its and let him continue from there. So that, today, Donald Trump is coming up into the saddle of leadership of America. You understand? Joe Biden is going out. He will not come and rubbish every policies and every decision, every policies and economic programs of Joe Biden. And that is why they have a great nation, because they believe government is continuing. They continue from where their predecessors stopped. But in our own case, I think, maybe I don't know who we have offended in this country. And it's all about selfishness, greed. I want to make my own name. I want to make my own name. So we don't need it. That is why it's getting us nowhere. You understand? Look at, just let me quickly round this up. Look at Lagos State. The government of Lagos State has been stable. Look at the rapid development in Lagos State. When one government continues from the project, that the other government have embarked from. Look at the rail line in Lagos Badagry, expressway, Lagos Badagry expressway. Fashola started it. Abode, partially, we don't look into it. But someone look at, they started doing it. So that is how Nigeria should be governed. So why did so many policies, some of these policies, the man should just look into the archive and see, call who is who, let them check from ministry and see some projects. Some contractors have been paid to finish certain projects, but just because another government came in, is not looking to that project, and the contractor is enjoying the money. He didn't bother to even to complete it. The present government does not even bother to ask questions about it. So you are coming, you are introducing new projects. So Cesarean operation for women in terms of disease, it's a good one. It's a good one, but the implementation and the sustainability of this policy is what really is my own concern. So if they can sustain it, I think it's already good. But just don't let me be the first people. But I know that another government will come. You don't look into it. You don't have interest in carrying on with this. That's just my take.
Thank you very much. Sustainability is key. That's what she said. And my first thing, what I noted down, is that policies should be a thing of continuity and not just new policies and new initiative every now and then. And of course, like you said, another government comes in, another persons in government come in, and they scrap away all the old policies and initiative and start a new one. Hopefully, like this MAMI, I hope it stays and it's not something that another person comes into government and takes it away and creates another thing which is probably the same thing with the previous one, but they just throw it away and pick something new. I think continuity and sustainability is implementation also is, I think, the three basic key we need to keep using and doing to make things work in Nigeria. Like you said, stop throwing away the old policies, pick it up and continue from where the last government stopped. Anyways, we can't take any more topic or any trending videos again. I would just want to appreciate Comrade Ola for joining us again on Monday. From all of us at Galaxy TV, we do appreciate you. Thank you so much for joining us on the program.
Yeah, thank you. My pleasure, and I will be glad to.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
And that's it for today on The Buzz. Hopefully things will keep changing. We'll hope things will keep getting better. Well, this is an initiative, but I would just say hopefully there's a sustainability, implementation, and a continuity. That is the major focus the federal government and the government basically should actually focus on. My name is Rose Blossom. Until tomorrow when I come your way again, we'll talk about the state and affairs of the country, and make sure you stay happy. It's a new week. It's a great week. I'm certain of that. Do have a beautiful day for yourself. Bye for now.